Will Queen Elizabeth II's death mark a new era for Britain, beset by economic uncertainty? Before we get into more detail, welcome to Financify, the #1 finance news channel. If you are interested in everything around finance, this is the place for you. If you haven't already, smash the subscribe button to stay updated with all the finance news and stay one step ahead in the finance world. Make sure to hit the like button and turn on post notification as well for us to provide you with more finance news. Okay, now let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the video. The death of Queen Elizabeth II marks the start of a new era for the UK, but it's one fraught with economic uncertainty and dampening national sentiment. The Queen, who at 96 was the UK's longest-reigning monarch, died peacefully Thursday at Balmoral Castle, Scotland, hours after doctors expressed concern for her ailing health. Thousands of Brits gathered outside Buckingham Palace in the pouring rain following the news to pay their respects. The Queen, whose 70-year reign spanned the aftermath of WW2, the winding down of Britain's vast empire, the 2016 Brexit vote, and a global pandemic had come to symbolize a rare constant in a world of constant change. She is succeeded by her eldest son, who was proclaimed King Charles within 3 hours after her death. Her passing will be marked by a period of solemn ceremony, during which no government announcements will be made until after her funeral, which will be marked with a public holiday in approximately 10 days. The Bank of England has also postponed its monetary policy meeting by a week. Suspension of normal politics. The suspension of normal politics comes just days after the UK installed its new Prime Minister Liz Truss, who was appointed Tuesday by the Queen herself in her final act of public service. Truss enters 10 Downing Street at a time of unique flux for Britain, inheriting a country saddled with its worst economic outlook in years, a deepening energy crisis, and increased inequality. Hours before the Queen's death, Truss is set to work outlining her plans to combat the UK's cost of living crisis, unveiling a broad stimulus package designed to help Brits with energy bills, which have soared following Russia's war in Ukraine. It comes after a petition to boycott energy bills began gaining traction in the UK. The Treasury says the package, which is set to cost over £100 billion, will lower peak inflation by 4-5 percentage points. But economists have warned that the move could complicate the Bank of England's already mammoth task of curbing record-high prices by spurring spending on goods and wages. The UK central bank delivered its biggest rate hike in 27 years last month, raising the benchmark to 1.75% in a bid to bring down inflation, which is currently the highest among G7 nations at 10.1%. Investors had widely expected a further 50 basis point hike when the BOE next meets, but some now say it will be forced to lift rates higher and more quickly. Rising recessionary risks. The uncertain outlook comes as the country faces rising recessionary risks. Goldman Sachs warned last week that the UK could fall into recession in the fourth quarter of this year, echoing earlier forecasts from the Bank of England. Britons are now bracing for a winter of hardship for both households and businesses. The British pound has already been on a downward trajectory over the past several months, hitting a 37-year low of $1.14 on Wednesday. We would like to mention that this is not a channel intended specifically to provide financial advice. This is merely a channel directed towards bringing educational content to your doorsteps. See you next time at the #1 finance news channel, Financify. Bye.